Why am I dressed like I'm a member of the Assassin's Creed? Because it's 5 a.m. and my hair's not combed again. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on my thoughts on movies and stuff. Today's video is on The Suicide Squad, because if at first you don't succeed, get a different black lead and try again. Supervillains Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, and Peacemaker get grouped together with a bunch of nutty cons at Balrev and are forced to join the super shady Task Force X. They're then dropped off at a fictional yet distinctly South American enemy-infused remote island known as Cordo Maltese. America. Now the guys are ready and steady to get you going, but before they do that, show us some love. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. After that, visit our Patreon and let us hold $1. And to our Patreon bros, as always, your names will show up at the end of the video. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, all done subscribing? Great. On with the show. Skadoosh. The Suicide Squad. This movie is a prediction. Prediction? It's a prophecy. It's so up to date that it's a sign of the times. A sign of what, my dude? Star of the Conqueror is what happens having all these billionaires up in space for kicks and giggles. What do you mean? There's no regulation on space travel. Why do you think they're the new face of the space race? The first one there gets to dictate what happens to the star-shaped alien minding its own business. Yeah, that does sound like something they do. Bringing back riled up aliens and off-world diseases. Heck, they'd probably live stream it. James Gunn out here hiding the Guardians of the Galaxy through the movie too. I kept looking to see if Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana were gonna show up in some dingy corner. Even Michael Rooker got to have some speaking lines. How are you gonna put Pom Clementif dancing in the back of a bar? As much as I appreciate the cameo, I feel like she could have been so much more than dancing bar girl. But all that aside, it was one heck of a ride. That was a film experience I haven't had in a long time. When was the last time you saw a good live-action DC movie? Wonder Woman 84? Gosh, wasn't that like a year ago? Well, nothing came out between then and now. Coronavirus. I feel like this is something that should have happened with DC a lot sooner. Marvel really dropped the ball letting Gunn go to just get picked up free like that. You snooze, you lose. And that also goes for the mouse. Right? I feel like he sidestepped all of the DCEU movie pitfalls. He somehow created an ensemble movie that has both charm and plot. He made a better Harley Quinn movie in one scene than that entire Birds of Prey nonsense. Oh, that's cold, man. That's cold. Hey, I said what I said. I kept trying to figure out the Deadshot joke. Deadshot joke? Well, the movie starts with Savant, who clearly doesn't miss. And then they introduce us to Bloodsport, who also doesn't miss. Then you get to see Peacemaker, who unfortunately is also a master marksman. Oh yeah. That's a good point. It just feels too deliberate to ignore. Maybe it's a sign of all the creativity that went down the drain trying to create all of those comic book characters all those years ago. No, there's a joke there, and I'm gonna find it. But in the meantime, is it me or is Waller somehow nicer in this movie? And you better be talking about Phoebe Waller-Bridge because Amanda was wildin'. Nah, hear me out, man. Amanda Waller is notoriously wicked. The devil incarnate, no doubt. So in terms of what Waller did in this movie compared to what she was willing to do in the first movie, which do you think is more evil? She left the entire island of Corto Maltese to get sacked by Patrick Star. I know, but still, this Waller was much nicer, man, I'm telling you. She threatened to put Robert Dubois' 16-year-old daughter in Balrev for shoplifting. I know, but let me land. She sent Rick Flag, a whole team of prisoners, and Pete Davidson to their death at the start of the movie. Convenient how you left out Harley Quinn. Oh please, we both know they'd never let her die. I hear you, mate, but feel me. In the first movie, Waller was sending them to their deaths. She was blowing up heads. She even killed her own desk agents just so that she could expedite her own evacuation. Yeah, she was doing a lot. Yet this time, she's threatening to arrest 16-year-olds instead of just doing it. She's giving warnings before blowing up heads. And she's making jokes and playing golf in front of her desk agents. Oh, I see where you're going with this. Listen, I was worried for them. I kept thinking to myself, she's gonna find a way to pop them all off, even if she just did it out of boredom. And they caught her on the head while she wasn't looking. They hit her on the head and they got to live. The people in the first movie were just doing their job and she shot them. Come on, you're not gonna catch Amanda Waller tripping like that. Facts. She's still the most evil person in the room, though. But I don't know, guys. What do you think? Was the Suicide Squad the soft reboot that DC and Warner Bros. Needed? Or was it just another DCEU film destined to fail, failing in the footsteps of its predecessor? I loved this movie. I couldn't stop watching it. Not just because I had to make a video this week, but I was genuinely enjoying myself. I mean, at first I was like, so Bloodsport is a Deadshot replacement? And then I was like, John Cena is also a Deadshot replacement? Man, all these supervillains look alike. But even those moments were quickly forgotten in this movie's R rating, intense action, fast pace, and insane amounts of gore. Of course, there are moments where the movie underperforms. When the dialogue isn't just exposition and jokes, there are times where it can feel a little dry, especially when the characters are explaining their backstories. It's weird. We asked you a yes or no question. Nobody asked you about your life. It just felt highly unnatural. But this movie hits hard, and being a soft reboot, it doesn't stop to explain a lot of things, which is a good thing in the long run. It kept me on my toes from start to finish, and it dedicated the right amount of time to scenes that, compared to other DCEU titles, would have dragged. But more importantly, people died. Like dead. All the way dead. Right at the beginning of the movie, people were getting shot harder than the CW Batwoman's ratings. By the end of it all, there was maybe only like 4 members of the original team still alive, and they even killed Rick Flag, which I didn't even know I had that much emotional attachment to. I was kind of sad when he died. I didn't realize I liked him that much. But it works because they're the Suicide Squad. If none of them died, then there'd just be no stakes to this movie. We'd be watching D-list supervillains killing normal people. And one angry alien starfish. The fact that so many of them died is probably one of the best things that gives the Suicide Squad its unique identity. Because people gotta die in a Suicide Squad. Rotten Tomatoes gave this film a 91%. Nice. And IMDb gave it a well-earned 7.5 out of 10. You know, honestly, I had such a good time that as I'm filming this, I'm sitting here and I'm debating with what I've written, because I've written 4.1 out of 5, yet I really enjoyed myself. I might even make it a 4.2 or 4.3. But I'll go, final answer, I'll say 4.2 out of 5. And why I want to increase my rating, by a lot more by the way, I'm really trying my best to be fair here, is because this movie felt like a good book. And when you pick up and start reading a good book, it's very, very difficult to put it down. And I did not want to stop watching this movie. I really wanted to see what would happen from start to finish. The times where I had to pause and get up and do something were like torture. But that's all from me, guys. Be sure to like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified about every time we upload. After that, visit our Patreon and let us hold $1. And once again, another shout out to our Patreon bros. As you can see their names over here. Aren't they beautiful? Thank you so much for supporting us and believing in our content, guys. I have no idea what the next video is going to be on. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see my thoughts on next. And I'll see you next Thursday with another video on my thoughts on movies or series and stuff. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.